Let's find an item as per usual. Get some really good equipment if you find items. That's why I highly recommend you do it this way, unless you are like really pressed for time. Okay, let's see what we got. Hides, ingots, and spell threads. All good stuff. Wolf Heart Ring, plus 7 health. Only one person can even put it on, so I guess Drig is getting health. What is it? Okay, so what do we have right now? Dodge chance, you don't even get any health from this. Bonus, you don't get any health from this. And you would get 1 health, but I would rather you keep the block. So we'll give it to Drig. And we can go over and scout this area, which may not have enemies. Sometimes there are areas that don't have enemies. I don't know if we've run into those yet. But we have now. Ooh, the Gambler. I do vaguely remember this one. So a scar on the prairie widens into a misty vale, and Savi finds herself exploring a marshy little woodland. Dragonflies gobble the air with their wings and wars. Guess it's better I take this part. Better than worrying about Drig falling in a mudsuck and never popping out again. Still, well, I'm letting my mind wander, aren't I? You must enjoy an ugly game to come here, I mean. Whoop? Well, who are you, a rover? That's right, a rover, a wind chaser. My name's Cobb Noon. Some there are that call me Lucky Cobb, or the Million Trick Man. Some just call me the Gambler. How do you remember which one you are? You can quiz yourself and usually find out, unless you've been at the bottle. In any case, I should give a good greeting to you. Out-of-the-way place to meet a traveler. Out of whose way? Apparently not ours. I'm on the home path myself, but here I can crown a moment like this. Behold. He has a chest. A chance meeting reminds us that chances are fleeting. Here's a little betting box. How about 2 strangers wager together in the wet marsh? The game is guessing what's inside, and your word is the wager. You'll pay what you say. Ooh, a 51% chance on the last one. Okay. You get 3 options. A trinket, materials, the essence of life itself. The essence of life itself, obviously, as the lowest option, is probably the best. I did it once. I don't remember exactly what it was. I just remember doing it and it being good, but I don't remember exactly what it was, unfortunately. And I'm not willing to risk it based on that. The materials, I don't feel like we'll need as much. I'm thinking we'll go for a trinket. 72% chance is good odds. A trinket, you say? Or some worn article, like my Ring of Power here. Open it then. Sure you want to publish it? You wagered and won. That's the rules. Also, it wasn't something I cherished. Won it in Glamdale. Oh, for Bully Bellmaker. Betting how many birds would be on the tavern roof by the time we went outside. Hey, what's your name? Did you say it? Savi where? How many were there? No birds. They were past midnight. Fare you well, Savi where. May fortunes find us on a drinking bench someday. So what do we got here? Ooh, warding. That's not bad. I think we'll give that to Bryn May just because we do want her engaging, and so she might engage the magic people. So that's not a terrible one. That's actually pretty good. And we may have run across one that didn't have any. I don't remember. Let's just see. So we can, with this, you can spend a legacy point. I might have gone over this already, but I'll go over it again for those of you who didn't see my first stream. You can spend a legacy point to choose what you to basically choose what you get instead of just getting what you get, what like it says it'll get. You will get. So we can either get hide and fabric, 2 fabrics, or 2 hides. We have, let's see, current resources and chapter's end. So at the chapter's end, we are going to have 5 hides and 7 fabrics. So we could probably use more hides and fabrics, but honestly, I'm down for 1 of each. So let's build this up, make 1 of each. And with that, we're now pretty well set up. I think there's only one thing left to do, and that is the main story mission. So first we'll want to patrol this area so we get rid of the infection. We'll definitely see a calamity, one more calamity before we end this off, unfortunately. But there's just no way around that. Still no to this. The Crook Pass I'm fine with, and I don't care about... well, I kind of care about this guy. We've seen a lot of that guy. I'd rather not see that. But the row, I don't really care that much about. And the deepest can have extra armor. We haven't seen that many deepests. So let's just continue on our way. We should be able to stop the Gorgons from doing another... from having another incursion happen. So we should be good in that area of things. Let's patrol this section, and then we can actually do the main fight. So once we've gotten rid of the infestation, it has a strength of 3. So this is the final fight of the chapter. When this fight is over, the chapter will end. Make sure you're ready. We have done everything, so we are definitely good to go on attacking and doing the story. Getting a drink. None of us knew what had changed the beasts who roamed our wilds. We knew something lived inside them, blue burning hate that frenzied them, then left them still. A stone sentence, worse and more deadly than any venom. Today, we would finally find out where it came from, and why it wouldn't stop. Well, Low Fairy Dam looks mostly intact, but we should still stay ready. Drig, anything? I don't know, but believe me, I'm not falling asleep back here. Personally, I'm done expecting things to go smoothly. I know. Be safe. The approach to the town of Low Fairy Dam is completely silent, which is kind of strange when you think about it. And it's only going to get stranger. Now this mission, just like the first mission, is scripted. So, like, the enemies might still be randomly generated, but otherwise it is actually set up the way it's going to pretty much always be, like, this area. Like, the town is named different things, obviously, and, like, the town setup might be a little bit different, although I don't think it is. I think the town might be preset. But I don't quote me on that. I don't remember exactly if that's the case or not. Let's just run up here. If I remember correctly, the enemies, because they didn't show anything, haven't spawned yet, so we don't have to really worry too much. I'm just going to be cautious anyway. And then, Brenmay, we'll just move you, I think, once we get to the right section. If I put you, like, right next to this stone lady here, because it's a little confusing. All the people are stone. What sick, unearthly story did we wake up in? Steady, Drig. It's not going to be us. There's tracks, and they go up to the barn door. Hey, have you guys heard the story of the Garden of Souls? Whatever did this could still be inside. And the sound of enemies. Here we go. Folk cards. Raccoon, Bogmore, Rager, and a row. The Bogmore is down there, which is not preferable. Okay. Let's go to Flam. And he has no way to reach. Okay, our best option then is going to be, let's see if we can get them to come to us, I think. So I'll have Drig run up here behind you. Sarvi will stand here, and Brenmay will run down as well. And as you can see in the upper left corner, we have to defeat the ambush and check out the bond. So we have to do both. Well, we don't technically have to, but it's recommended. I'm going to be doing both. You have to check the bond. I don't actually know if you have to beat the ambush, but you may as well. And Bogmore is coming. Okay. So we have that row over there. We can interfuse with this fire. And we have some potency damage we can do, so we should be able to not one-shot it, because of course we can't. Well, okay, so anything standing in fire will take 2 damage on its turn, so it will die. So long as it is still standing in that fire. Next up is to have Flam come down here. We'll have Flam go like right about here and take a attack on the Bogmaw. And then Savi's chances of hitting are 88. So hopefully she'll hit. There we go. Took out the Bogmaw, and with that, she'll stay invisible because of Rogue, which is why Rogue is so good. We'll put Brynmay here, and we'll engage the Rogue. If the fire doesn't kill it, Brynmay's Guardian will. Okay, I thought the fire would, but it was still worth doing just in case. And we know there are 2 other enemies around. Oh, Passing Shadow. Have a hero and 5 consecutive turns in Great Plane. There you go. Got an achievement. Alright, Brynmay, we'll have you move towards the barn. Flam. Let's put you next to this fire. Drig stands. Let's put Drig in. Let's see. Drig will stay with Kararu/Flam. Let's light the lamp just in case we need to use that fire again. And then Savi will chase after Brynmay. Alright. I don't know where the other enemies are. And that worries me a little bit. Flam, I want you to open this door. I thought a raccoon would be in there. Well, I thought something would be in there. Not necessarily a raccoon, per se. Let's see. Ooh, okay. So we do have Lightning Warning now. Which really only helps us, but still. We have Low Dump Plus, though. That would be pretty good. Chance of killing would be nice. Are you kidding me? Well, I can do it again, at least. Okay, Flam. We'll do that. Let's have Brynmay open this door. Oh, hello there, Mr. Rager. It's gonna attack me anyway, so I don't need the Guardian, and I will just leave you. Savi will go right here. There we go, got rid of one of his armor. Blocked the attack. It'll probably go for an attack on, yep. I got through, unfortunately, but that's fine. Drig, try Lore Dump again, maybe? Oh, I could. Okay, let's use Lightning Warning. Does Lightning Warning only affect my allies? No, it should be able to affect me, right? Destroy a book or statue, granting yourself or an ally plus the potency. For some reason, it won't actually let me use my check it on myself. I don't know why. Well, we'll just go for Lore Dump then, just in case. There we go, took it out. We will attack the Rager. And there we go, we're done here. That was all the enemies, so let's head over to the barn now, because we have finished up the ambush. Okay, run up here. Flam goes there. We put you here. Savi can stand next to the door and open it next turn. Put it right there. And then Drig. Oh, Drig's already moved. Yeah, Drig is probably not going to be joining us. Fine. I'll have everybody enter everyone around when we get to the area. So let's put Flam here, Brynmay here. Both can be on Guardian, although no enemies are nearby, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, we'll have Savi still be the one who opens the door, and Gorgon. And a random row. The Gorgon is actually a very difficult enemy for early game, so we're going to want to watch out for it and take it out fast if we can. Is there any... yeah, there is cover. That's what I expected. So Drig will run up here. Where is... so the row must be up there too. So let's interfuse with the clay pot. And we can't reach, unfortunately, but at least we have an infusion. The row must be in the back. So we'll send Flam in, put him in Guardian. We'll send Brynmay in, also put in Guardian. And then Savi will enter as well. And we can move Drig forward a little bit, so he's getting some walling. Oh, come on. Oh, there's the row. Okay, we'll go to Drig first. And go to Scalding Rain. I can probably... it's probably better to use it on the row because I might take it out. And I did. Nice. Next up, we'll have Brynmay engage the Gorgon. And then put her next to Flam. Then she'll go for an attack as she shreds armor. So we do her first. And then we'll have Flam strike from the bottom. Ooh, nice. Bunch of damage. There we go. Victory! No level ups because we just all pretty much leveled up, so. Talisman of Illumination. So stun chance up. That's pretty good. 15. We'll give it to Flam because he could actually use the stun chance up. Feel the ancient hero queen who reigns in salt-cold deeps. In coils of azure silence, in her spiral she sleeps. I thought it was creeps. It's certainly not your standard plow mule. The hulking carcass steams from its many wounds. Hideous convulsions course along its appendages to the extremities of its body. Then... Savi! No, Savi! The thing's tremendous tail flicks across the barn. It plucks up Savi like she's a straw doll, her weapons falling uselessly from her hands as it pulls her in. Savi, don't panic! A voice leaks from Savi's mouth. It's a wrong voice, weird and discordant, like someone fretting and plucking a fiddle who's never picked one up. Still yourselves, bone stacks. This one speaks my words. I can make it die. You are not alike to us, weak lungs and small minds, stacks of splintering bones, thin blood that will so readily betray you. Why flail for your lives so noisy? You can survive this, just put her down. You think I flail for life as you do? I am Gorgon. The master Ulstryx has promised us silence. The voice dissolves into a sound like rain or distant waves. Wriggling grips tighten. A tentacle invades Savi's ear. Stop! Drig leaps forward, and in an instant a rusty saw leaps off its iron hooks, metal ribboning and rippling loudly. Stop, I said! Oh, geez, this guy's gonna saw him. Okay. Got violent. The saw slices into the neck of the great beast. Savi falls free of its tendrils. As Flam and Brenmay rush over to make certain of the Gorgon's demise, Drake braces the woman he cares for in his arms, coaxing her back to awareness. You're not fading, are you? Hold on to me. A strange, stony affliction spreads from Savi's ear. Savi? This isn't over. I saw its mind. The stone was in its claws. This stone was in its claws. Savi takes the stone from Flam's palm, turning it in front of her eyes, catching splinter sunbeams that slice the bond wall. The strange polyhedral stone is slick with Gorgon blood. Epicrest. Each face is graven with an intricate image. The water in the Gorgon's head was Epicrest. This town, Low Fairy Dam, these petrified people, even this monster, tadpoles in a toad pond, right? Does that make sense? The Epicrest glistens, sticky and blue. The Gorgons have a master, Ulstryx, it's called. It's looking for something, some myth or secret. I think the riddle is in this stone. I think we have to find out what Ulstryx wants, and make sure he doesn't get it. Minus 25 charisma, plus 35 loner, plus 10 to the time and age of Jade. So it's actually, I'm not sure how it decides who gets grabbed. It's been a different person almost every time. My first round, it was actually my Mystic. Second time I played through this one, it was a warrior. So I don't really know how it chooses. I think it's just random. And I said this before, I've never actually seen it do something like that where it was like someone who already had a lover, so I hadn't actually seen, like, the text was a little bit different than usual, except, like, the explanation of the Epicrest. The other thing that was interesting to me about that was you sometimes get to have a choice there, I think, like, what do you pick up and attack him with, whereas you just, because Drake's a Mystic, he just used the Star, which I haven't seen, because I haven't seen a Mystic attack usually, which was a cool thing to see, actually. So, now let's move on from there. This is the Chapter 1 complete summary page. So we have resources that we have gained, so legacy points, hotwoods, hides, ingots, fabrics, and spell threads. And then we have the stats. So victory 8, safe tiles 1. No, victory is what we did. Victory is what we did. Safe tiles 8, towns 1. You gotta actually look, deck or not. Infested tiles remaining none, so looking threats remaining none as well, so we have 10 years of peace because of that. Depending on how well you play, depends on how many years of peace you will end up having. Your victory has undermined the enemy's plans. They've been weakened. They lost a corrupt pass on the raccoon. There are other things I would have preferred they lose, but whatever. Usually this will only affect the main enemy, so in our case, the Gorgons. Now you have during the years of peace. Stuff will happen during the years of peace that will change things up. They'll be unique and stuff, so. During the years of peace, we have something for Savi here. The Gorgon's mark grew and crusted over to cover one side of Savi's face. It would be a grim reminder of the encounter that day in the Low Fairy Dam barn. By the way, I'm probably not going to read every, like, random events dialogue, but I think I'll probably try to read majority of the dialogue for main story stuff, because I think that's a pretty good way of doing this. That's why I read all of the dialogue in that last place. Brenmay and Savi was stopped by Traveling Man, a resident of that small village in Foggy Plain where the Great One feasted. He thanked them again for slaying the monster and ending the dark days of his life. Brenmay laughed awkwardly at the man's honest praise. Savi planted a tree for each life she hadn't been able to save. When Flam came down with a case of sissel throat, Brenmay would come by to wash the blankets and handle the soup pot. You're not putting whiskey in there again. How's it going to be medical otherwise? Fair. Okay, but seriously. Now to the next section. Gear upgrades. One of the most important sections of after completing a chapter. So you can upgrade your gear in this game as long with pretty much any other game, really. As I have already noted, we all start with tier 0, where you have increased tiers. So, for instance, we have this axe here. We're using a pickaxe, but we have an actual axe that we could use. It's one-handed, tier 1, it'll do extra damage and have an extra stun damage. You have tier 2 we can create, and everything you create costs the specific materials. You can create all of the different kinds of weapons. So axe, great axe, mace, hammer, spear, great spear, bow, crossbow, dagger, staff, and wand. The interesting thing here to note is bow. So you'll notice with bow, right? We have the regular bow, but we also have the water bow. Every elemental type of weapon that you end up getting, you can actually create once you have it. You have to get it first, but once you have it, you can create it. So, pretty important to try to get those, to get them. And it's throughout all games. Like this is if we do another story after this one, we could create the water bow right away. Apparently we actually just start out right away with, I mean, that makes sense, because this was a story thing, but it's kind of cool that it gives you it right away. Maybe I should have given that to Drig instead, but whatever, I don't know. I kind of like how it was set up. You can also make stuff for hands, although we already have something in her hand. The things you can make for the hand, I would usually not make anything and just wait and see if you get it in game, honestly. But you can make a spectral lantern, which will give warding, a torch so you can set things on fire, a throwing net, which pens, throwing axe, which can do some damage. You can apply poison with this. 3 different shield types that, if I'm right, don't do anything but look different. And throwing knives, which is basically another way to do damage from a distance. So, not bad options. Once you're in this area, once you're able to make stuff, you can actually also craft other weapons for people. So, you can craft secondary weapons, similar to how the hunters start with a secondary weapon. You can actually craft secondary weapons too. The final thing you can craft is armor. We actually have gotten pretty lucky, and a lot of our characters have gotten armor as we've gone on, but you can craft armor if that is what you desire. What I'm going to probably do is just focus on making weapons, because our weapons are not the greatest. We have a bunch of tier 1 stuff. We'll start by making. Oh, I actually didn't mention. Let me real quickly say this. You can use legacy points. So you can use LP to create stuff if you don't have the materials for it. So for instance, I'm missing 3 heartwoods for this, but I can still make it if I use 3 LP. I'm not going to do that. I would rather just make the regular one, so we have a tier 1, and see if maybe we can get a tier 2, like in the game itself, basically. Get another drink. I'm really thirsty. I have not been drinking enough for this stream. Okay, that's much better. Alrighty. Okay, so sorry, I keep saying the same thing. Like I said, I think I'm going to try to just make everything I can. So this just takes 2 ingots. It'll give us 4 damage and some stunt damage up. This one will cost 5 ingots, 1 hide, and 2 spell threads. I don't use the knife enough to make it that worth it. I would like a knife that's not tier 0 though, so we'll make that. This would cost me, what, 1 LP and all of our ingots. I'm not completely against that. My question here, what would it take to upgrade this? We don't have the heartwood for it. Okay, that's fine. We don't need tier 2 stuff quite yet. We're still early game, so. This would only take 1 LP and all of our ingots, but like, I'm cool with that. That's actually a pretty good worthwhile thing. That gives us 2 extra damage on both our regular damage and our stunt damage, and that's a pretty good setup, I would say. So we're gonna create this and get her a tier 2 axe, and then everyone else has at least tier 1 stuff. Now the only thing we're missing here is he doesn't have any armor. But armor, as we've kind of seen, we've gotten pretty lucky in this. It's not that unlikely you'll get it. But since we can just make this without losing too much, let's just craft this, because it's really not that expensive for us. I don't think we can make tier 2 of any armor, and that's fine. Once you have created everything you want to create, you can hit the next button to go on, and that's what we're going to do in a second. I also want to take this opportunity to mention that this is not the only time you can do this. I think if you're in towns, you might be able to also craft some gear upgrades, but I've never actually done it. I usually just wait to the end of a chapter. With that,